Welcome back here to another segment here on the Tim Miles Show. We've been talking a lot of Colorado State men's basketball in the program, but we now switch our attention to swimming and diving. Nicole Lynch joins us on the set along with longtime Colorado State swim coach John Mattos. Thanks both for joining us here today. And Nicole, making your TV debut, I imagine, huh?
Yeah.
Get the big lights, the bright lights around us. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Great.
Things going all right?
Things are good.
Well, good.
Things are good.
Well, good. Right in the middle of the season now as you guys look forward towards the conference championships coming up in a month. But give us an idea how the season has gone so far.
I'd say so far so good. We started out it was a little bit rough at the beginning, but we kind of pulled ourselves together there at the end, and we had a tough training camp and then had a tough meet against BYU this last weekend, but I'm excited for it. I think we're doing good.
John, prior to the BYU duel, you guys had a duel against Northern Colorado and took care of them this season so far. How's it gone?
Not near the way we expected. We've had a lot of teams in the early part of the season who were really prepared for us, and I wasn't really ready for that type of preparation. In other words, they were focused on beating us, and we like to go through the season thinking each meet is going to be something that we want to do well in, but we're not going to do anything really exceptionally fast or special in order to get ready for it. That may sound strange to a lot of the sports addicts out there, but it's the way it's done in swimming because we really want to have our best performances at the end of the year so that we can focus on the NCAA should we be that fast.
Yeah. Nicole, talk a little bit about what it's like to be a swimmer. My wife is a former swimmer for Coach Mattos here at Colorado State, and I know you guys work incredibly hard, harder than probably a lot of people think. Say, hey, you just jump in the swimming pool and swim around and you're good to go, but it's not like that. Give us a typical day for a swimmer.
A typical day would probably be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll go about 3 practices and start about 6:15 in the morning, so you're up about 5:30. We practice from 6:15 to 7:30, and then I'll go to class between, last semester it was like 8 to 12. And then we'd come back for practice at 1:30. We'd swim from 1:30 to 4. And then we'd head over to the weight room and do lifting and stuff from 4:15 to 5. So I'm usually and then I go back to school and do stuff in the lab for homework and stuff. So I'm usually at school from 6 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
just about every day.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And John, talk a little bit about Nicole. She's a senior from Phoenix, and she's one of the team leaders.
Well, she was selected as a team captain last year at the end of the year, pretty much unanimously by the athletes. She's a great leader, both in the water and out of the water. She's very level-headed, and she's had to go through a lot as a student athlete here at Colorado State. There were some personal things with her family. Her mom, unfortunately, a year and a half ago, succumbed to cancer right after Nicole's conference championship. I don't know how Nicole pulled through in her conference championship, but she did. And she's just been a steady competitor for us the whole time and has really adapted to the program because she came from a totally different program to begin with, and her success level has just been outstanding.
She talked a lot about academics. I know, and I've heard you say over the years, if our girls do well in the classroom, we're going to do well in the pool. Talk a little bit about that.
With as much as we train, if they're not organized, all they're going to do is stress about their academics. So if they can stay organized and stay on task academically, they're going to perform well because it's one of the things they're going to do right off the bat when they get home from every practice or prior to every practice. They just have to do what is asked of them to get their degree here at Colorado State because they know how important that is.
Mountain West Conference Championships coming up in about a month. February 23rd, I believe, is when they open up down in Oklahoma City. And Nicole, talk about the preparing as you get closer and closer to what would be your final conference championships. What are the goals for you as an individual and for the team?
It's fun for us because the preparation towards the end of the season is we get to taper, so practice comes down. There's less practice times.
It becomes easier, right?
Yeah, it does.
Tapering was always a good word in my household.
It's exciting. We're not as tired. Like we're able to do things more. We'll stay awake longer than 8 o'clock at night, but like it's fun because we know that we're getting down towards the end. Conference for me is always just it's a mental struggle. Physically, we're all there. We're all ready to do it, but it's a mental struggle, and I'm really excited this year to be This is my last one. I'm really excited to do well. Yeah.
Quickly, John, before we have to go to break here, BYU, San Diego State, two of the top teams. How do you go into that? Where do you see the Rams?
Well, as always, there's never any doubt in my mind that we have the kind of athletes that could be, if not pushing for a championship, be in the top 3 of those championships. And that continues to be our goal, that continues to be our focus, and I just have to bring the athletes up to that level, and that is our challenge as we prepare in these last 6 weeks, actually 5 weeks before the championships.
Well, it should be fun. John, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Nicole, thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Appreciate that. John Mattos, head coach of the Colorado State swimming team, and Nicole Lynch, a leader, the senior on the team. We'll be back. One final segment. We'll go back to Colorado State men's basketball. We'll be rejoined by Tim Miles. That comes up next.